Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and today's video is all about Tracer. Now, as per usual with these guide videos, I'm going to do a quick rundown of all of her abilities and talk about how I think she can be best used in the game. Now, Tracer is fast, and she specializes in backline harassing. She's very good at getting behind the enemy team and throwing it into absolute chaos. Her primary weapons are her dual pulse pistols. They deal a maximum of 6 damage per shot, and fire at a rate of 40 rounds per second, and of course with a magazine size of 40 in total. This means that you're basically emptying the guns in the blink of an eye, so reloading is going to be frequent. Her damage fall off begins at 11 meters and ends at 30 meters. This means that her maximum DPS is 240, and of course with a minimum damage per shot of 1.5, her minimum DPS is then 60. This is roughly on par with other close range offense characters like Reaper. However, since her per shot damage is relatively low, you'll need to be able to land extended bursts on enemies with reasonable accuracy. They are capable of headshot damage though, and since the maximum spread of the guns are not particularly wide, especially at close range, you'll definitely need to be aiming for the head whenever possible. Her maximum damage potential of 240 per magazine would suggest that it shouldn't have difficulty taking down most offense heroes, with the exception of Reaper, without too much of an issue. But in actual practice, the guns will likely only manage half that due to a combination of damage fall-off and weapon spread. In order to maximize your damage, you'll need to hit hard and fast. Attack enemies when they are close and catch them by surprise wherever possible, and then use your agility to avoid return fire. Tracer's first ability is Blink. This is a quick dash ability that pushes Tracer forward by about 7 meters and has a total of 3 charges. Each charge takes 3 seconds to replenish, so care must be taken to not get caught out without any charges available. It can be tempting to dash forward with all 3 charges to get to the fight quickly, but much like Reaper's Wraith form, doing so can leave you without a good exit strategy. And with just 150 health, Tracer is the least survivable character in the game, equaling the health pool of D.Va without her mech. So you won't be surviving many direct hits. Her blink ability only works in the horizontal plane, but she is pretty much immune to gravity while blinking. Use this to your advantage by crossing gaps on some maps to better flank your enemy. A good example of this is the gap on Volskaya that a number of characters can actually cross. Tracer is also capable of crossing this gap using her blinks, provided you aim them correctly. This ability is best combined with her primary fire when in close quarters with enemies, since you can dash around them and disorientate your enemies while avoiding their attacks. Just be careful not to disorientate yourself, and of course space your dashes out properly. Overusing them will leave you without blink charges and without a chance. Tracer's second ability is Recall. This rewinds Tracer 3 seconds back in time. It takes 1.25 seconds to complete and returns Tracer to the exact position and condition she was in 3 seconds previously, and has a cooldown of 12 seconds. It will return her health and ammo back to where it was as well, so this goes both ways, so be careful when you use it. While this is also useful as an escape skill, it's not necessarily just relegated to being one. It can also be useful when contesting points and you're taking damage. For example, if you're in critical health, you can simply recall to restore your health and continue firing. When combined with Tracer's blink ability, you can actually cross great distances and get out quickly. And it can be especially useful when combined with her ultimate ability, Pulse Bomb. The Tracer ultimate is very much a hit and run ambush ability. The Pulse Bomb itself deals 400 damage in a 3-meter radius and takes about 1 second to deploy. It's also capable of sticking to enemies, which can prove especially useful for strategically removing a single target, such as a tank from the objective or taking out groups of enemies clustered together. However, since the blast radius is quite small, it can be easily avoided if it's not attached to an enemy. So accuracy should be your top priority. Sticking the bomb to enemies that are tough to remove, such as tanks or turrets, can help your team push onto an objective more easily. An alternative is to try attaching the bomb to support characters such as Mercy, since they tend to be quite close to the people that they're actively healing. It can be combined with Tracer's Recall ability to quickly get in, deploy a bomb, and get out safely. Combining this with other hero ultimates such as Zarya's Graviton Surge and Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, two abilities that are very good to combine with nearly any ultimate in the game, those can really help you to amplify the damage of the bomb, simply because the enemies are so close together. Overall, Tracer's more of a harasser than she is an assassin. It's best to use her abilities to cause chaos amongst the enemy team, rather than to outrightly try and go for kills. That's not to say that she can't get the kills, it's just that she's better at causing them to be distracted or to divert their attention away from your main team. Since her damage output is also still reasonably high, she can prove to be a very powerful distraction to most enemies. But that being said, you can also take on support characters and some of the offense heroes on your own, provided you maintain the element of surprise. And that's the key point. Tracer's not durable in any way, shape or form, so getting the jump on someone is the only way you'll manage to deal damage and stay alive. Avoid obvious angles of attack and big open areas that are covered by sniper fire, and stick to the side routes as much as possible. One thing I will add as well, and maybe this is just due to the way I play as Tracer, but get used to dying. A lot. Because of her small health pool, Tracer is one character that is very easily killed, either by a well-placed sniper shot or by a stray rocket from Pharah. Most things are going to kill you pretty fast, and what I found is that as soon as I accepted that I would die often, I started playing more recklessly than I normally would, and that turned out to actually work. Now, I don't mean deliberately going out and putting myself at risk, I mean pushing further forward and closer to enemies than I would with any other character. And at least for me, being very aggressive works quite well. But what do you guys think? Is Tracer best played aggressively, or do you take a more cautious approach? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like if you've enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Don't forget to comment down below with which character you would like to see covered in the next guide. My name is Panzer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.